All right. I think we're live. We should be live. My software tells me we're live. I got to wait a couple seconds though, because there's always this lag. I've learned from past live streams to monitor my iPad over here. Let's see. Just give it a few seconds. Let me open up our chat, see what is cracking. And yes, we are live. Okay, happy 2025. First live stream of the year. We're doing a lot of firsts of the year today. I'm doing a lot of firsts of the year. All right. We'll go ahead and let this run a little bit. I got my healthy chaga wellness tea. Got to keep it healthy. Dope, dope. Okay, let's see here. We're going to start off. I want to hear everybody's predictions of the year. What do you think is going to happen in WordPress? What do you think is going to happen in web design? It's going to be crazy. I have a feeling it's going to be a roller coaster year, especially when it comes to WordPress. It's definitely going to be very interesting. All right, already, dude, Nicholas, how you doing, man? It has been a while, brother. All right, good to see you here. Britta, hey, Britta. All right, Mario, Eddie. Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday. You took some good time off to, be with the family, enjoy the holidays, and take some time off for yourself, whether it is a break or if you are crazy like me doing what I do around this time of the year is to take time off from client work, work to focus more on how could we improve our businesses, our personal stuff. That's what I always do. I always like spending the new year planning, strategizing. What went well? What didn't? What did I not achieve this year that I want to achieve next year? And with that, I want to kick it off. So, what I want to ask everybody already getting started here is what is the one thing you are going to accomplish this year? Like, no matter what, you're going to follow through and you're going to crush it this year. What is that one thing that you could commit to that you just have to get done this year? It might have been something you wanted to get done last year, maybe something you just realized that you need to do, but didn't get it done yet. Drop it inside of the chat. I can tell you, I got a lot of things, but one of the things I'm going to do, and I'm making a really crazy, bold commitment right now, and it's really probably not that smart of me to make this commitment right here to kick off the first live stream. But one of my big goals this year is to do one live stream a week for the entire year. I want to follow through with it. Like, I'm ready to go in monkey mode right now. Like, I'm ready to go bananas on YouTube. There's a lot of things that have been brewing up inside of me that I just been really wanting to do. Now, like, you know me, I like to keep things open, transparent. I like to let you know where I'm at in my journey because I just like to keep things real. I appreciate when other people keep things real. 2023 for me was a very challenging year. 2024 was a very healing year. So I took a lot of time to heal, to do a lot of self work. After 2023, losses, accidents, things like that happen. Life showed up. And this year, this is going to be a monkey mode year for me. Straight banana ape type ish. You know what is going on. All right, what's going on? Let me catch up with this chat. So let's see here. Maybe I should pin something, huh? Yeah. All right. Let me see. Does anybody have a goal yet? I want to see. Okay, Rustam from Malaysia. Dude, what part of Malaysia you're from? Because I go there probably a few times a year. Usually KL, sometimes Penang, but I love Malaysia. Like, out of all the countries that I visit here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia is one of my top favorites. Like, I really love KL. As soon as I step into it, just the whole diversity and culture and the food and just the whole vibe, like, I love it. KL is an amazing city. All right. Plurat, successful 2025 in Sweden, most definitely. Nicholas, it will be full of great positive surprises for sure. I think we got some surprises on the horizon inside of WordPress. Not sure how positive those are going to be, but we could always flip it around. And no matter what is happening out there in the WordPress drama situation, because we got because we got tools like big dogs like Elementor, like Bricks, Breakdance, and even Divi. We got these like WordPress is not going anywhere. You got so many good people, so many great platforms, tools that are not going to let it go anywhere. We even got Etch coming out on the horizon, which I think is going to have a pretty like it's going to have a bright future for sure. That's going to be coming out. So I'm not worried about WordPress. I'm not worried about the drama that's happening. I think it's going to be really interesting. Like definitely got to have some popcorn, sit back, observe, see what's happening. It's great to be informed, but at the same time, we are still good. I am still 100% confident in my stack and in the tools that I use. Fat J, dude, this is very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually got a list over here, like a pretty big list over here of stuff, but I'm glad you brought this up. Wait, special AI agents? I just caught that one, man. I saw the first part, AI and everything, and I started talking. Yeah. And why am I still? I'm still making rookie mistakes here. I got my iPad volume on. Did you guys hear the echo? First off, man. Okay, I am dealing with some technical issue. Tell me, is my mic too loud? For some reason, I have to figure it out and talk to support, but the gain keeps dropping on it. Is it okay? Is it too low right now? Look, it just keeps dropping on me. I tried fixing it before. In fact, let me see here. I did go to support. Yeah, they're not that active in support right now on this tool. It might be time for me to look for another streaming software. Hmm. Not sure why that gain is dropping. I'm going to have to dig in a little bit more. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Thanks for that, guys. Let me get some of my tea. Chaga tea, keeping it healthy. I'm going to put a chat right here. I want to hear everybody's predictions right here. Now, these are only predictions. I'm not the best at predictions. If I was, I wouldn't have sold my Bitcoin earlier last year. Would have held on to it. My predictions aren't always the best, but I think that the way I follow web design business, WordPress, so closely like it's my passion, I'm pretty safe to share some predictions that I could see really coming in many different areas, not just WordPress, but in web design, also for us freelancers and agency owners. This is a part that really keeps me grounded to the pavement, wanting to know what's happening because in our industry, we have to be able to pivot so quickly. I mean, check this out. All right, we're gonna jump into some screen sharing right here. Like, I just want to give some reference right here. Does anybody remember this? Do you guys remember this? All right, themes. Like, it wasn't so many years ago, like Salient. This used to be one of my go-to themes right here. Like, it wasn't so many years ago that, and I got to keep checking the chat because I want to make sure the audio doesn't go out or something messed up. Yeah, it wasn't so long ago that this is what we did right here. That or you built a custom theme. Remember this right here. Let me see. It's still going on too. They still got it. I think it's kind of funny, but it's still happening today. You can still get it. Remember WP Bakery. All right, this isn't like, let's accept those cookies so we can see it. This isn't like it was 15 years ago or something. This is like 4 or 5 years ago before Elementor really came in and before guys like Divi came in. The thing about our industry is that it changes and evolves rapidly. It always has, and it's going to continue to do so even at a quicker pace. the way things change inside of our industry, it's been fast from day one, but it's one of those things where it's like the momentum keeps building up, so it keeps changing quicker and quicker and quicker. And we got to be ready to evolve with that. Like we did not see what was going to happen with COVID. Now AI is coming in. We didn't see what was going to happen with that. And there are changes for a lot of us. We didn't see what was going to happen with the economy. What was going to happen with here, let me go back here, turn off the screen share. We didn't see what was going to happen with inflation, with businesses starting to hold on to the money a bit more. So there's a lot of things that impact us as web designers that we got to prepare for. We got to try to look a few steps ahead. And this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, and not just to hear from me, but to hear from all of you as well, because by keeping my ear to the pavement, knowing what's going on, it's not just by obsessing over web design, but it's also talking and hearing from everybody inside of the community and industry, and that is all of you. Let's go ahead and catch up on this chat. Mario Peters, this is good. This is actually on my list right here. And I agree, man. SEO is going to change. It's not dead. SEO is not dead, and it's not going to be dead as long as there's Google. That's not it. We just got to adapt to it. Uh it's going to be more, instead of optimizing just for search engines, to optimizing for everything. Optimizing for those chat GPT prompts, optimizing for the quick Gemini responses. We're going to have to start learning how to optimize for everything, as well as other search engines as well. It's not all just going to be Google. And one thing that I think is interesting, should also keep your ear to learn about, just stay informed about, is the fact that the DOJ has been going after Google for some time. They're claiming they're a monopoly, and they're trying to work on that to take away the search engine from Google, because Google is monopolizing the entire web. They have been. They built something that nobody else could compete with. Like, you just cannot compete. Now AI is coming in. ChatGPT can't compete, but as far as search engines goes, they built something that nobody else could come in. And even if somebody comes, it gets very complicated, but it's something to just stay aware of, that the DOJ, Department of Justice Department in the US, they're going after him. So, things can change. Again, things happen rapidly as well. Dude, I am really interested in this. So I really want to give Divi 5 a try. This is going to be a year I'm going to take a look at it. Now, to keep it real, this year, my primary focus is going to be on bricks and breakdance. Bricks is what I've been using heavily for the last couple of years. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. It is an amazing tool. Breakdance is another one that I really want to dive into. And I got my mantra of, master one thing at a time. That's my philosophy. So I do want to get into mastery of breakdance builder this year, but I also want to explore other things as well, like Divi 5. And then at the same time, still keep on with Elementor with the updates that come. I love creating tutorials for Elementor. I love the people who use it. All right, Eddie, given props. Do you know what? I don't know if anybody has done this. Like, I could complain about Elementor all day long, and they make it really easy, you know? Uh, but at the end of the day, too, like, you got to look at some of the things they've done right as well. And I was really surprised with the code when I inspected it. I remember when you added the heading, like, there was a time where you had the text widget and then you had the heading widget. And the text widget actually had one more div than the heading widget, which is the reason why I use a heading widget for everything, even for paragraphs. But then recently I wanted to see if that is still true. I went in and I was really surprised to see there's only 2 divs wrapping them, when before it was like 6, 7, 8. Like, it was a crazy amount of divs. They have reduced the divs tremendously inside there. So they've done a lot behind the scenes. I just wish they would change some other things, especially that whole AI stuff. Uh, yeah, I could easily go on a rant right now about the AI. Uh, but I do want to talk about AI. I got that coming up. Just want to catch up on everything. All right, Rustum. Also, 2024 has been good for Elementor, and I hope even better for 2025. Looking forward to more motion effects, dude. That would be awesome. So, I know it cut off right here, but it's also for WooCommerce on the roadmap. They've done a lot of good cleaning up in 2024. I hope in 2025 they could do things like remove all that old animation. That old animation, the bouncing and whatever it is. It is terrible. Like that is these were things that were there at the very beginning of Elementor. Some of the things that were there at the start are not needed right now. They look terrible. The animations on there, like I would not use them at all because they just don't look good. They don't look modern. It's old. It's outdated. And if they were to replace that, maybe with something a little bit more like GSAP, see if they could do something that would be awesome. You can make so much better interactive sites that have a more modern look and feel. Same thing with WooCommerce. Uh, Last year when I did the design with Elementor course, the first one 1.0, we focused on WooCommerce. But in the middle of the course, as I dug deeper and deeper into it, I was very frustrated with it. Very frustrated because the widgets all felt like they were from the very beginning. They had margins inside of the widgets that you had to use CSS to remove. Everything was old and outdated. So definitely a new revamped WooCommerce needs to be done inside Elementor. They just need to remove all that old stuff, which is not as easy as it sounds. All right. So, okay, I hope I can say this right. Say roll. All right. Want to learn bricks this year? This is a perfect time to learn it. The thing that I mean, God, I could just go so deep into bricks, like so far off. The thing that's awesome about it right now, you can get an LTD in bricks, you can get an LTD in advanced themer, you could get core framework, which is an LTD. And I think ACSS. Let me check. Does ACSS still have an LTD? LTD. Let's check it out. I'm going to get used to doing more of the screen share. So you're going to see me diving back and forth more. And they even got an LTD here as well. The thing about this, it's a great time to get started with bricks because you could build a stack and that's all you need. All you need is the bricks, LTD, advanced theme or LTD, and either core framework or ACSS, one or the other. You don't need both. You just need one or the other. And there's an LTD for both. And you're going to be good for years with that. That's all you really need inside of your stack. I mean, you could get some of the extras like Bricks Forge is good, Bricks Extras is good, but really, that is that's just like a solid stack, and then you don't need to worry about those ongoing expenses as well. It's a great time. Let me see if Advanced Themer. Okay, let me see if they still got their LTD going. This is one of my must-haves. Okay, they still got the lifetime deal. I swear, this is probably one of the best LTDs I ever got. This and bricks. All right, let me jump back over here, see what is cracking. So, just a heads up for anybody wanting to learn bricks. I mean, there's a lot of good resources out there, but that is the next course that I am creating. It's going to be bricks and core framework course. So that one right now, the production is starting this month. It's going to be for all of our pro members inside of the pro community. So really quick, I have not been showing this all last year. I did not show what we are doing. And I want to stop that because we're doing some awesome stuff inside of Circle. And inside here, like things are really going well. I mean, this is in one day. I could see like There's a lot of activity in here happening. Everybody who is a student, we all got our student space right here, but there is a lot happening in here. And what I have done to change everything is now the pro memberships have gone down, but they are annual instead of monthly because let me go back here. Personally, I got exhausted from monthly costs and expenses. It's hard to do accounting, invoicing. It's a pain, it's a pain, and they start to add up as well. I saw a statistic that came out, and it said that the average American is paying over $300 a month on monthly recurring fees from all the different stuff that just starts to add up. So what I did was I changed everything to annual, and now we're going to be creating courses that are part of the pro group. So the first pro membership course is going to be Bricks with Core Framework. Let's see here. GSAP in Elementor. That would be kind of cool. Have you tried Motion Page yet? Motion dot page. I have to keep it real. I haven't. I got it. Like two Black Fridays ago, and I still haven't even used it yet, but I'll go ahead and give it a try by the same people who created Core Framework. All right. Free code camp. You know what? This is something everybody should do who is building a website. Everybody should learn. This is something that I have believed for years now, and I started off in how I started doing this. Everybody should learn how to build at least a simple landing page with just HTML and CSS. We got to know HTML, but we got to know CSS. Like 95% of the bug fixes, maybe even more than that, all could be done just by understanding CSS, being able to go into inspect element, and being able to find out what isn't working and learning how to look for stuff. Really important. Croco Block. Hey, that was one of my best investments, actually. I got that Croco Block LTD a few years ago. It was not cheap. It was an investment, but I got my money back on my investment. That's something I like to look at when I do LTDs. You know, like I learned to hold my pockets a little bit tighter when it comes to buying LTDs because I look at, is that LTD okay? If the LTD is, let's say, $500 for an LTD for like one website, or maybe it's unlimited. But then you got the plan, and the plan is like $99 a year. I look at it and I think, what is the probability that I'm going to use this for 6 years just to make $100 on top of my investment? What's the probability I'm going to use it for 5 years just to get my money back? And the odds are very, very low in a lot of cases. Like I said earlier, things change very rapidly inside of our industry. Croco Block, though, I totally agree. This is one of those ones. Croco Block team, I feel it's safe because they are super active. They are growing. They're not going anywhere. And that's what you want to see. That's been one of those investments I've been happy with. Carlton, also looking forward to learning bricks. All right, Eddie. You know what? I think this is a really good point right here. I remember when I started using bricks, I got asked a lot, or assumed a lot, that I just left Elementor. I stopped using it. And that is not the way it goes. Like, that's a whole philosophy behind master one thing at a time. You take your time, you master it, you get really good at it, because then you can add more value to what you do. After you mastered it, if you got time, if it makes sense, if it aligns with your journey, go on to master the next thing. You start to stack up all these little masteries. But if you don't master, you just keep jumping around, or you just go to something that you don't need. Maybe it isn't about building websites. Well, it doesn't make sense then. Maybe you're going in a different direction, more focused on marketing, where, learning something else would be more important. All right. Now, on to some of the early predictions. So let's get into this. All right. What's coming this year? First off, changes in WordPress. What do you guys think are going to be the changes in WordPress this year? Because things are happening. Things are happening. We're seeing some of the flaws in how things have been operated for a while. We're seeing some of the possibilities of what could happen. Now, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Far from it. That's not going to happen. But it's really unpredictable right now, to be honest. I don't. I would love to hear from you. What do you guys think is going to happen this year in WordPress with what's going on? Like, we're just starting off, and things are going to court, and it's shut down. Like, what's going to happen? I could predict this. I do not see Matt going anywhere. That's one of my predictions. Willingly, okay, not willingly, no way at all. Uh, I see. I feel like this is a good time for the page builders. I feel like this is a good time for for them all. Even Etch that'll be coming up. I know Etch is still like got some time, but I think it's a really good time because they're in a good position right now. You can still rely on them. You still know that, hey, they're still active, and WordPress is open source, so I don't see it going anywhere. That's what I see. Okay, different WordPress works. I see this too. I think there's going to be attempts. I don't know if they're going to work out. Uh, I mean, there has been, like, there was a classic press uh that's been, like, a forked version for a long time. Looks pretty good. I mean, I like it. It's WordPress without Gutenberg. Personally, it's the way I like it because I am a page builder user. I like the page builders. Uh but to get one that's going to go mainstream and actually pick up a lot of traction, that's going to be interesting. I think if a bunch of WordPress forks happen this year, uh, I think it might be a long shot, but maybe one of them could really take hold and start gaining some traction. It's going to take a lot, though. It's going to take a lot for that to happen. WordPress users will increase this year due to rapidly growth in drag and drop builders. Uh, I don't know about this one, to be honest. This is one of those ones that, you know, every year WordPress, their foothold and everything has been declining. They kind of reached a stagnant state. I think it was one of Paul's recent videos. He broke it down, brought out a lot of the stats. I think we're seeing other tools starting to take advantage of this. We're seeing that, we got other platforms like Framer, Wix Studio, uh, 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 Webflow, they're starting to gain a lot of momentum. Shopify always has been. And I got my excuse me. I got my eyes on this right here, Web Studio. Let me see. This is what I got my eyes on right here is Web Studio. I want to start playing around with it, and right off the bat, just kind of like getting in and playing around with some templates and just checking out how it works. I can see, yeah, it's got some time, but I would keep my eye on this one as a good open source alternative. And we might see more people move into this when it is ready enough to be moved to for smaller projects. I mean, for right now, let's see here. Web Studio. No, I don't want to go to my dashboard. Let me see. Got to like play around with this using Arc. All right, so Web Studio right here, it's free. They do have their own hosts where, they do pay. They had this LTD going on for 50% off. I was really close to buying it, but again, my tight pockets kicked in. I'm like, $500. Am I going to use this? For 5 years, I don't know. And I think that if this does turn into a tool that I use for 5 years, I'd be happy to pay $200-300 a year for something like that, anyways, because it'll make me my investment in return. But let's see here. Okay, so it is free, but let me see. This is what I wanted to show. Okay, so right here off the bat, they say that the builder is open source and can be run locally without much hassle, but it isn't recommended for production environments yet. I do like that they are being responsible about that and letting people know that, hey, it's not ready yet. But one thing I do want to start testing is how to put this into a self-hosted environment. How can I add this to my xCloud or to RunCloud? How can I install it? I'm going to learn that this year. That's one of the things I definitely wanted to learn. Maybe we'll do that inside of a live stream. Where are we with the comments? All right. Okay, yeah, it's a good point. See, this is a thing too. This is, you know, this is something we got to look at. I'm not sure. I don't want to stir a bunch of stuff because I know as soon as you come out and say, I don't want to throw myself in the line of fire because right now I'm just in the process of learning, thinking, taking in information, building perspective. The thing about perspective is you get a perspective, you learn something, you see things a certain way, but as long as you're open-minded, you're listening to other people, your perspective is going to adjust. You're going to audit your beliefs. So, with that said, just know that's where I'm at. I'm auditing my beliefs, I'm learning, and I am open minded. But one thing that I do know is and agree with that the focus has been on Gutenberg. I do not think it has been ran well. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I heard Automatic was spending 4,000 development hours a week on core WordPress, I'm like, where are those hours going? Like, is this being productive? Is this a good time, a good investment of all this time, effort, energy, expenses, finances? Because that is a lot. And if we are still at a time where, like this started in what year did this start? 2018 or something? We're going on over 6 years. One guy made bricks builder in a few years. So is there an efficiency issue happening there? And now with the pause happening with a lot of uncertainty, with Matt having full control over everything and just acting unpredictably, how is this going to impact the growth of Gutenberg as well? How is it going to impact the community? I would love to hear from Gutenberg users. That's the reason why I want to keep my ear to the ground because I want to see how this impacts them. We all got predictions, guesses, estimates, thoughts, opinions, but we got to go through time as well. And we got to see what is truly the impact on this all. This is when I lost my mind on this. This is when you know, I was trying to be open minded, trying to look at everything both sides, but I am absolutely against anybody stealing somebody else's hard work. I'm against those websites that sell fake Elementor Pro plugins. I think it's theft. I think it's dishonest. It is unethical, and yeah, the whole secure custom fields thing, that to me was on that level. There's no excuse in that right there. That is where my goodwill was lost. And, yeah, there's got to be some sort of accountability. What is this? I think bricks will start to get real hype. Yes, I think so too. I agree. I am with you. I think like Webflow or Wix developers. Dude, I have actually been seeing this. I've been seeing some Webflow content creators on YouTube switching to bricks. It's interesting. A lot of them are not happy with the whole pricing structure, with the whole unpredictability where all of a sudden you get a spike in traffic and people are being charged ridiculous amount of money. there are things happening within that pricing structure. Greed starts to kick in. And I am seeing people moving to bricks from that world. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because well, bricks is just that good. And I think anybody who is using Webflow is going to love bricks, you know. Same things happen with Framer though. Framer is something that I'm interested in. I want to learn. It looks really dope. It looks cool because I'm a designer. I use Figma probably more than WordPress, but the pricing structure just it just does me in. You know, over the holidays, I was looking at the prices. I'm like, this is confusing, this is overwhelming, and this is ridiculous. I did not like it. Patch A. Webflow hype is over. Man, once they start knowing about bricks, okay, big prediction for 2025. Bricks is going to gain a big foothold from Webflow users. It is going to gain a big foothold from Elementor users that have started to develop their skills, that have started to wanting to take their skills, take their abilities to another level. I see that happening for sure this year. Dude, this is actually on my roadmap, man. I am right now working with InstaWP, setting everything up. See, one of the things that I'm doing with my templates right now is I am starting to give them for free to pro members for everybody in the Lytbox Pro community. That's going to be one of those bonuses. But I'm also going to start to sell them. And the reason why I'm selling them is because I want to learn. You know, I create this stuff. I create, you know, if I put in all this time to create a really dope Figma template and an Elementor website to be used as a template, even a bricks template, and when I start using breakdance, the same there. Well, you know, like I would love to start selling those 5, 10, $20, and I want to learn it so I could teach it because this is this now we're going to start talking about web designer, freelancer, agency owner predictions for 2025 because this is the real stuff right here. This is what really matters. I feel for most of us who need to make a living doing this is we need to expand and start to think outside of the box. Look at the economy, it's been messed up. Like people are holding back, businesses are struggling, and there's more competition in web design right now. Got a lot more people willing to do things for a lot less. There's a big race to the bottom when it comes to pricing. So, for those of us who are doing this as a living, we got to start thinking outside of the box. We got to start doing more. We got to start looking at how can we do more for our clients? What other services can we start to provide? What are our clients' problems that need to be solved that we can start solving? Because one of the things that we got to start doing is focusing more on long-term relationships, lifetime value of a client. When, you know, after a few years of running my agency and once I started tracking everything and like really monitoring finances, looking at, you know, what was earned throughout the year, I thought it was exciting to get $10, $15,000 for a website. Like to me, that was like my big goal. But then when I really looked at everything, I saw that the clients that were paying even less for a website, but their value throughout the year, because their business was growing, they had needs. They needed somebody in their corner that could help them solve their problems, and by sticking with them inside of their corner and being that person, being that team to help them out, they were the ones who earned the most for my agency. They're the ones who gave me the best living that I could, that I never even imagined having. So we got to start focusing on that. Now, what are the needs our clients need? Because those are what's switching, those are what's pivoting. Like before, you know, SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads. Well, Facebook ads and Google ads are not the same anymore. SEO is also starting to transition. It's still needed, but there's more things that are needed, more of a priority for our clients. And one of them is going to be AI. A lot of clients now are starting to come around. They're not technical. They haven't kept up with them. Most of them haven't even used ChatGPT. You'd be surprised how many people just heard of it from the news. They're running big businesses, but really haven't adopted any of this yet. They need help with that. They need somebody in their corner that's going to help them set up stuff, that's going to help build processes and systems with AI, that's going to be able to create automations and really start to integrate it into their business. Now, for anybody building websites for clients, if we were to adopt, take some time. And this isn't something that we need to spend years learning. This is something we could literally learn, just hyper focus for several months, just really digging in there and starting, just like what we did when we are building websites for clients. You start off small. You start off because you're learning as you're building your first websites. You get better at it, you get more productive, your processes work a lot better, and then you start charging more money, and then you're streamlining everything. And then if you're starting to really grow, now you're bringing on some more help, you're automating, and so on. So this, since we're already in this world, we got a quick jump start. We could do this a lot quicker than what we did when we were just building websites. So this is one of those things we need to start looking at and preparing. This is my big prediction for those of us in 2025. We got to start looking at how to help our clients in other areas we didn't think of helping them 2 or 3 years ago. With that, I'm going to take a breath. Let me catch up on this chat, see if there is anything. Who's all here? Okay. Hey, look it. I have been off for a long time. I took a tremendous holiday, ridiculously long holiday. I will never do that again, I think, for a very long time because I got too relaxed. But this is a reason why I'm getting back into this on a weekly basis because it's more about consistency, getting into it, and mastering it. It's all about mastery. Mastery comes with consistency. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Figma to Elementor export tool. That works 100%. That's always going to be a challenge because Figma changes, so much changes constantly. Right now, though, what I'm focused on is the core framework uh, uh, and Figma connection to bricks. That right there is what I'm excited about. That would be cool if they did something like that. But see, Elementor, I think they will first need to adopt classes. They'll need to do more. They got to change a lot in order to do that. Because right now, like the globals that we have for just global typography, global colors, like those are like they're like kind of like classes in a way, but just imagine you can make a class for anything. We need that. We need classes inside there for it to really start to grow. Carlton, okay, going back to being a front end developer. All right. You know, I do find bricks to be a lot more straightforward. It's just following, like, bricks is all about following best design practices and principles. I dig it. Oh man, I made a lot of these already. Transparent headers. We got a lot of these. Just look them up. I got at least 3 of them. You can check out the latest one. They get easier and easier. In fact, I think the video last week, I think I added a transparent header. They got so, once you start doing them a while over and over, they could be done like within seconds. But definitely check out the latest one. So I know we all got a starting point. The first time, hey, I remember the first time trying to create transparent headers, and I can never forget that. That's one thing I never want to forget is what it was like to be a beginner. So it's all good. No harm in that at all. But definitely check out the ones already. You'll be good with that. Ooh, is WordPress still worth learning in 2025? Absolutely. If you're just getting started, uh this is a great time. We're in a great era for WordPress. This is still great regardless of what's happening. I let the drama go whatever you hear, what's going on, WordPress is solid. It is the thing about WordPress. This is the most used platform in existence. Like this powers a high majority, well over 40 something percent of the entire internet. Like the entire of all websites combined. So yes, I would say this is a great place to be at. Master it. Master one thing at a time. All right. What else do we got? Okay. New prediction. Facebook is going down. Okay. No, for real. Like, okay, Facebook is just turning to rubbish. I don't know about you guys. I purposely stayed off of Facebook all of last year. I went radio. I went silent on it. I ghosted. I had to. I had to. I had to work on myself. I had a lot of things happen to me into I had a lot of things happen. I shouldn't say happen to me. I had a lot of things in life that happened in 2023. I had to work through it in 2024. And Facebook was not helpful at all. When I started Facebook, it was great for connecting with family and friends. And then for a long time, it was great for all of the communities that we're in. But now, not to say the communities are bad, I find that that's really all I see in there that it is worth is turn to more uh, communities. But you have to sift through so much rubbish of what's going on inside of there. We are seeing a lot of communities moving to Circle, and that is my prediction. It's in Circle. I mean, I can show you right here. Let's see. I don't even know what we're going to see, but I'm just going to check. Okay, so we can see, this is what I have in my Circle right now. So I already got a few communities in here. I got to add a new one too. Reno believe he's creating a community in here. We're going to see a lot more communities coming up inside of Circle. And the thing about this is having them inside here is very straightforward and value driven. There's something special that happens when you get out of Facebook and you get into a Circle community. There isn't all of the trolling, there isn't all of the negativity, and you don't have that stuff thrown in your face. And you can have everything like really hyper focused. And then you could be part of several communities. Fluent communities came out basically replicating this, and I love Fluent. I love Fluent tools. I'm a big fan of everything Fluent. I think they build phenomenal things. Jewel and his team are amazing. They built spectacular tools. The challenge with that, though, and the reason why I am going to be sticking with Circle is because of this. I could jump into Paul's community right here. I could go into Dan Coe's community right here. Let's see. What happened? I'm also in the future, but did I get booted out? I think I got booted out of the future. The Chris Doe's community. I got to check on that. I feel like I'm missing a couple of them. But that's the thing. You could go into this platform and it's all right there. Now, there are paywalls behind a lot of things. And that's a bit of a challenge. But you know what? If the paywalls are reasonable and it blocks off all that crap that comes into Facebook, it's the barrier. And that is really where the value is at. Now, we could go to a Facebook community, a Facebook group. We could grow it to like 10,000, 20,000. You can make it really big. But the amount of people who are really in there giving value, learning, and making it a valuable community is always going to be much smaller than what is actually inside of there. So I see this happening more. It's already been a steady growth in 2024. I see 2025 having a lot more communities inside of Circle. What do you think? Who here is in a Circle community? I know a lot of you already are in the Lytbox community, which is awesome. That's how I recognize and know most of you. That's the thing that's awesome too. When you're in those, you start to really get to know people. Everybody that I refer projects to is all inside of our community. I know what everybody does. I know who specializes in what. I know who is good at what. So that way, when I get leads and I get tons of them, I could share them with people. I could share them with the right people who are a good fit. And then the beautiful thing that happens is when I start talking to other community members, and I find out that they've been partnering with others. And then the more I talk with others, like on one-on-one calls, I find that most of everybody is partnering with someone. It's awesome because I used to hire from Upwork and Fiverr, and I stopped because I was losing a lot of money doing that. It was risky, too difficult. So instead, I became more picky, and I only began to hire from people I knew in community, somebody who built goodwill. That way, it was just less risky that way. And having these kind of communities when you are building a business, you're building a network. You're networking with people. And it's really important to have that, especially if you are in the early stages of freelancing and building an agency, because in those early stages, you're most likely trying to do everything yourself. You're overworking yourself. You're hands-on everything because the thought of paying somebody else to do that is overwhelming. First off, it's expensive. Do I have enough? Like I can't afford to pay somebody to do that. And if I do pay them to do that, and then you might try to do it, and then you take a loss on it because they do a terrible job. They don't listen, they don't deliver on time, and then it gets really hard to do it again because you are going to take losses. But by networking with the people, people right here in this chat. This is it right here. This is what it's all about. Carlton in Lytbox and Flux. Dude, that is awesome. That's the reason why you're flying, man. That's the reason why you're on the right track. Flux is no joke, and that's an investment right there. But they are doing some really awesome stuff. Adrian, okay. See, in Lightbox and Copyblock, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so are these communities free to join? Some aren't, most aren't. The thing is, I pay $2,000 a year just for my circle. That's it. That's only one payment though. There's more payments that goes into this, more investments that goes into this. I think that if the price is reasonable, as long as it's not something like crazy ridiculous, but if it's a small investment, you're going to get back what you put into it. But at the same time, you're also going to support that to keep growing. It has to go both ways. I don't think a purely free paid like circle community could really work because I've been doing this now for a couple of years, well over 2 years now, running the community, and it takes a lot of work. It could be exhausting. You could get to burnout, and it's not about making the money, it's about keeping it going and being able to give it the time, attention, and energy. So just think about that. But I do want to leave you on one note. And why I started doing this and why I believe in paid communities is because around my third year, I started my agency and I was struggling. I first did really good. And then I I had a nightmare project that broke me, and I was making all these bad mistakes. I went and got an office. I went and hired 3 full-time team members because things were going really good. I had this vision of like a startup, but the truth is I did not know what I was doing. I never ran a business. I didn't study business. That's not my background. I know how to create really dope websites, and I know how to get really obsessed about something and give it all that I have. That was what I had going for me. So as a result, I made all these costly mistakes and I almost gave up because it broke me. Like it literally broke me, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually. Like it was this close to giving up web design. I took a big step back, and that's when I discovered Chris Do. I started learning from him. I saw some of his content, and somebody told me about him. Somebody says, like, I remember I forgot who referred me to it, but I went and joined their community. Now I'm out here in Thailand. I'm broke. I barely got enough to pay rent. I lost everything inside of the agency. Had to tuck my tail between my legs, leave Bangkok, back up to Chiang Mai. It wasn't like it was. it was a humility, there's a lot of humility there. But I still went and joined that community and paid $150 a month for 2 years. I still did it even though I didn't have the money. But what happened is I got my return on my investment. I started learning how to really do this. I had the support. I started networking and connecting with people. There are a lot of people in the Lightbox community that I met inside of the future group with Chris Stowe at that time. There are people I worked with for years that I met there. And that's the reason why I believe in them, and I started it because I know in my soul that they could help change lives. Dude, thank you, but I'm going for 100, brother. Look, I know it's a vanity metric. It's super silly. Like these are all vanity metrics, but I'm going bananas, dude. I'm going ape level, monkey level on this. Thank you, though, man. I appreciate it. But I'm going after the plaque. All right, I'm there's a like I don't know I listen to underground hip hop. I don't know what you guys listen to, but there's a song with Joey Badass that just recently came out, and he has a line in there, it just hits me when I hear it. He said, if they're not laughing at your dreams, then you're not dreaming big enough. I was like, that's it. You got to dream big enough where people call you crazy. Because what happens, and this is good for everybody who are looking at their goals, who are planning out the year and thinking, what do I want to accomplish this year? If you aim crazy big on some things, you put everything you got on it, even if you fall short, you're going to be really high. You're going to achieve a lot. Goals are nothing but the posts that we're aiming for. That's all they are. They're the target. They're just to give a path. That's it. They're not actually what's going to happen. That's it. That's all what they're about. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. He is a legend, man. He is a legend. I'm really grateful to have been there in the early stages of him creating content and starting the future community. It was really a special time. I'm sure it's really good what they have right now. It's changed a lot. Uh, like for me, like we all grow too. Like right now, I'm learning a lot from Dan Co. Join his community. I bought Cortex, his tool. Let me do a quick screen share on it so that way you guys know what I'm talking about. I got this right here. Uh-oh. No, I don't want you guys to see my Cortex because I don't know what content I wrote right there. Let's see here. All right. This happens with Arc. You try to, you put it in the search and it'll open up one of your tabs. But Danco created Cortex. It's a writing tool, and the free version is more than good enough. But over the holidays, they had the big plan that came with the community, and I bought it solely to get into the community. That way, I could learn and connect with other people there, people outside of the web design industry. This is like people inside of the content creating and copywriting industry. I find fascinating. One thing that I'm also going to be doing more of this year is spending more time with people focused on health. A lot of the content I've been consuming lately have been focused on health. That's my biggest focus personally inside of my life. So, part of my routine is every morning I wake up, have my coffee, and then I get started with, like a session on a treadmill. But as soon as I finish my coffee, finish journaling, I put on a podcast for at least 1 to 2 hours. And it's always something about just learning something about, personal growth or business growth. Uh, Lately, it has been personal growth, but in the health area. I find it fascinating. It's awesome. All of this ties into each other too. That's what makes it so dope. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got big plans for stuff like this. So my plans for content this year, they're going to be changing up a bit. I'm going to be creating a lot. I'm going monkey mode. Like I'm getting the perfectionism out of the way. I'm not going to try to polish up everything. I want to create. I want to put stuff out, and I'm going to diversify a lot of the content that I create. Up to now, majority of it has been a lot of Elementor focus. I'm going to be breaking out of that though. Still use it. I'll still do some, but I'm going to be doing more when it comes to bricks, breakdance, web design, Figma, but then also for web designers, like web designers putting together a solid freelance website, putting together a portfolio. It's not even just about like designing a portfolio, how to make a portfolio look good on the website. What do you put in the portfolio? How do you attract people? How do you react when a potential client comes out and says, "Hey, can you send us a portfolio?" There are a lot of things that goes into this. There are so many things that go into freelancing and agency work, contracts, agreements, proposals, pitch decks, all kinds of stuff, conversations with clients. So I really want to go deep in this area: web design business. That is going to be my focus. So I'm going to be breaking out of the Elementor bubble, and I'm going to be just trying to add as much value as I can, sharing everything that I've gained in my journey and I still am learning with everybody who is either at the early stages trying to learn how to build a website, but also inside of the stages of starting freelancing, building their freelance business, and also building agencies as well. Ricky, many thanks, brother. Many thanks. Where are you from, by the way, man? I kind of noticed like I'm experimenting different times of doing my live streams because I'm in Thailand and it's really hard for me to do this in US time zone because my circadian rhythm just does not work that way. Holy snap, we made it an hour already. Okay. Dude, it is really difficult to do anything when you're struggling health wise. It is so important. You hit it, Mario. This is the absolute most important thing. This is something I actually want to talk a lot more. And I got some other plans. I'm not going to share them quite yet, but I'm going to be uh, doing more as far as like growth and sharing. But just going back to that, I heard a quote recently, and I think it was like a Confucius quote. Like it's some old quote. I'm going to butcher it and not give props to the person who actually said it, but it goes something along the lines of a healthy person wants 100 things, or no, a healthy person wants 1,000 things. An unhealthy person only wants one thing. When your health is not there and it's not a priority, everything else starts to crumble. Everything else takes a hit. It is the most important thing that any of us could focus on and do. I truly believe that to my soul. Malaysia, man. What part of Malaysia? KL? I love Malaysia, man. So I no doubt I'll be in Malaysia this year. I go at least a few times a year. But next time I go, I am going to make it a priority to go when there is a WordPress meetup in KL. Nice, man. Indonesia, awesome, man, awesome. I love it, man. I love it. Dope. All right, but hey, everyone. Let's see. Do we have anything before I jump? Before I go. All right, I think we kind of hit it. I'm going to end this at the 1 hour mark. I am really grateful for all of you being here. I'm excited to get the first one launched off of the year. Man, we're going to go monkey mode this year. That's my goal. We're going to apes banana style. All right. I'm excited for this, but definitely I want to find ways to add more value here and to do a bit more. Some of them we're going to just goof around. Some of them will there's things, but some of see, this is why I got to cut it off. I'm going to start trolling it off. I don't want to start butchering. Let's have a good goodbye. Hey, thank you everyone. I appreciate you for being here for sure. I hope everybody has an awesome start to the new year. And if you guys ever want to hit me up, check out the pro community. You don't even have to join. You could join for free. Hit me up inside there. I'd be glad to see you guys and connect with you. That's what this is all about. Why we are doing here, to connect with each other. All right, thank you. That is it. Welcome 2025. Let's crush it this year, everyone. All right, cheers. Have a good day or night.